Well, hello everyone. This is Jeannie White. I'm the producer of this show tonight called Skin is In with Holly Brown. It is being produced from Passionate World Talk Radio. Well, welcome, Holly.
Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Holly Brown, host of Passionate World Talk Radio, and we're providing a series called Skin is In. Our series highlights something rarely talked about, but is very prevalent, and that is the skin reactions that develop after undergoing chemotherapy, radiation surgery, and targeted and immunotherapies. A lot of the skin reactions can affect somebody's quality of life, and so it's a very important topic. Today on the show, I'd like to welcome Makeva Deas. Welcome, Makeva.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
So maybe we could just start out with you sharing a little bit about your story.
Okay. Well, I found Fab through the Live Strong program at the YMCA. My younger sister, actually was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And they had ran her labs and everything, did some blood work, and had come to find out that she was BRCA positive. With that being said, they urged the rest of the family for us to all get tested. And besides my sister, I was the only one who kind of came back BRCA positive.
Okay.
So I don't know if anyone knows what BRCA positive is, but BRCA is pretty much a genetic mutation that pretty much predicts that you are at high risk of developing ovarian cancer or breast cancer at some point in time of your life. And the way that they kind of treat BRCA is by having prophylactic surgeries. So I ended up having a double mastectomy as well as a hysterectomy to lower my chances of developing ovarian cancer and breast cancer. So when I got tested, my numbers were 89%, and because of the surgeries that I have had, it lowered my chances to 5%.
Wow.
Which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. And so that's something that we hear, like Angelina Jolie did that.
Exactly. That's exactly what she had performed. That's exactly what she had done. I've also learned about a couple of other celebrities as well. I think Christina Applegate and Kathy Bates have gone through similar procedures as well due to BRCA.
Okay.
So I went through the procedures and it kind of left me in an awkward place. So I went through a really bad depression because I was dealing a lot with my skin changing, my even my scalp scarring was a very sensitive issue for me. And so my neighbor next door encouraged me to join the Live Strong program at the YMCA in Bridgewater. And so when I joined that program, I first thought that I didn't belong to the program because I didn't have any active cancer. So it kind of left me feeling, like I don't want to say like an outcast, but it left me feeling alone. But they still encouraged me to join the program. And one of the perks of the program was getting introduced to Fab.
Okay.
And Fab actually introduced us to their line, gave us tons of information on the type of chemicals and things that are in our products that we're kind of really unaware of, that I really didn't know about, So it kind of I was very intrigued by the line. And part of that was they also provided services to us. So you could either get is it six, Holly? Six services, and you can either five services, and you can either get a facial or massage. And so I immediately hopped on to I'm so sorry. I hear a lot of some echoing in the background.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. And that's how I kind of met Christina. And she was another person that taught me about my skin. Um, Taught me about my skin. She kind of helped me address a lot of concerns, especially with scarring.
Yeah.
Because that I'm very insecure about that.
Okay.
And so yeah, and since then, since I haven't, besides this, everything that's going on with COVID, I have not left Christina's side or Fab's side or stopped using the products because I love the products so much.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so did you do both skin care and massage, or did you just do more of one than the other?
No, I actually did both.
Oh, good.
So I got to experience the facials, as well as the massages, and also introducing some new products to my regimen, for my face, facial care, even like my hair care for my scalp. And she very informative. Fab has been very informative. They are women who know their stuff. I will say
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and I also have shared some of this information with my sister as well as some of my friends as well. I've been actually given my mom a couple of samples from the line as well, to help, and because she loves the Skin Essence oil.
Yeah.
That's one of her favorite parts of her, that she includes in her regimen for it to add to her skin and her body.
Yeah,
Um,
so just to talk a little bit about the essential oils. So essential oils have been around for thousands of years. They offer so many healing properties. They're great anti-inflammatory, anti-fungal. Grapeseed oil, for instance, has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it reduces swelling faster than anything on the market. So we actually have a company that mixes the oil specifically for the charity, and that helps us to regulate and know that we use the best quality oils. But also, a lot of people shy away from using essential oils because they feel that it clogs, and half of the reason of why it may clog is because people use a heavy wax carrier. So that's another important factor of us mixing our own, that we are able to know that we use an all natural carrier. And so a lot of our patients refer to the essential oil as liquid gold because it just kind of helps with everything.
yes, and I love the fact that it's a product that you can use from head to toe.
Yep.
It's not just specifically just for one area. You can use it in your hair, your face, even like sometimes I even use it as cuticle oil to soften up my cuticles.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that it's a head to toe product.
Awesome. Great. And also, the other thing that I wanted to just kind of touch on, because you had said that you had participated in both skincare and massage. And so, like, mainly you had surgeries or a number of surgeries. And so when people have surgeries, when they're undergoing treatment for cancer, it becomes very worrisome when you attend a normal spa. So particularly if you've had lymph nodes removed or lymph nodes that have been radiated, it stops or it affects the lymphatic system. And so you have to be very careful if you were to attend a spa for a lifetime post-cancer and somebody that wasn't properly trained worked on you, and they wouldn't know how to reroute, because the last thing you want to do is push the lymph to the spot where there are no lymph nodes. It can get stuck and cause lymphedema. So that's an important factor of being specially trained and being able to provide the services.
Exactly. And I love the fact that because we always would do like an intake before that we would even get started, just so Christina was aware of what was going on with the health and how she can, if she can provide the services. So which was something that I really loved. And it really showed that she really cared about my, you know what I'm saying, my health and my well-being, And it
Yeah.
wasn't just that she was trying to provide a service, if that makes sense.
Yep. So no two people's cancer is the same. So everybody who undergoes treatment for cancer has a different treatment plan. And so it's really important for us to customize our treatments to whatever conditions or to accommodate for safe treatments for the person, depending on what types of treatment they've undergone. So we do very intensive history in the beginning, and then every time that somebody has an appointment, we follow up with a history, just because things change so rapidly and we need to really know so that we can safely administer the treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Holly. What were you going to say?
So I was just going to say that, so a lot of clients that we've talked to say that coming and receiving services from FAB kind of restores a sense of normalcy where they're going through doctor's appointments and all that. Did you feel this, and why did you feel that?
Yes. I felt beautiful. It made me feel as almost like a woman. All over. And the reason why I say that is because, dealing with the double mastectomy, dealing with a hysterectomy, I didn't feel, beautiful. I felt like I went through kind of like hell and back, and even with some of the medications that I was on. So I felt like the program did provide that for me. That was bringing me back to that, making me feel confident in my skin, especially when I would have these facials done and I would leave and my skin would be glowing. It did that for me. I'm so sorry because I'm trying not to get emotional about it at the same time, because that was something that you guys did do for me. And it was the first step into getting back to that normality, if that makes sense,
Definitely makes sense. Yes. And
just kind of teaching me on how to take care of my skin, how to lighten my scars, things that were making me insecure. Especially before I came to you, my skin was very dull. It looked like it didn't have any life in it. If that, and by Christina introducing me to the line, because my line that I love the most is the Vital C.
Okay, yep.
That's the line exactly. That's what I've been using. And I still continue to actually use it.
Oh, good.
It's still part of my regimen every day. And it works. It really works. So dark spots that I had got from on my face began to fade away and are no longer there. I used it on my scarring on my breast that lightened those scars from my double mastectomy. So I can't stop raving about it. And like I said, I tell even some people who aren't cancer patients, I still recommend the line to them as well, because it has helped me so much and it has changed my skin drastically. I wish that I would have done something with my hair so that way you guys can see my skin.
Oh, no worries.
But I wanted to show you. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but
but
it's definitely been very helpful. Very, very helpful.
That's fine. Just hearing you, we can hear that how the impact that it has had on you, and that is very important. So I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem.
And so I wanted to go into a little bit about, you explained about the BRCA gene, and you seem very educated about that. And we've even talked about you have some ideas of wanting to begin your own nonprofit. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that and what type of nonprofit and how it would help people.
Okay. So the nonprofit that I wanted to do is designed for BRCA single parents who have been diagnosed with the BRCA gene. And what we would do is provide services for them while they are going through these plastic surgeries that they're having. And the reason why I'm so gravitated to it, because I'm a single parent myself, and going through, my family couldn't really provide me with a lot of support because my sister was going through chemo, radiation, and she's also a single parent as well. So they
Okay.
had took off a lot of time already for her, and because I was coming right behind her with the BRCA, with my surgeries. So they
Right.
really couldn't be there for me the way that I needed them to be. I had just lost my job, so that was another downfall. So it was very hard for me, as well as my daughter as well, who was, I think Ayana was like 14 or 15 years old when this all started to happen.
Yep.
And so I had to find a lot of services, and I had to do a lot of legwork to help us to kind of stay afloat. Um, and also to just trying to take the burden off of my daughter, because she had to go to school every day, go to work, come home, and kind of take care of me. And
Right.
it made me feel guilty, because she couldn't be a child. She couldn't be a teenager and enjoy her life because she was so consumed with taking care of me and making sure that I was okay.
Right. Right.
So that was a very hard thing for me. And I'm still dealing with that now currently because I'm still a single parent, and here we are. My daughter is still, she's helping me through now with even with this surgery.
Right. Right.
So I would just like to, a lot of people that I have talked to who do have cancer on their family, on their mother's side or their family side, I try to encourage them to go get tested. But a lot of them don't want to get tested because they are the head of household,
Right.
and they feel that if how can I how can I go get this surgery? Who's going to take care of my kids? How am I going to get to doctor's appointments? Who's going to feed them? Who's going to make sure that the lights stay on? So I kind of want to step in and be like a one-stop shop for them where they can kind of connect with me, and I can help provide those services for them, link them to their local pantries, find them grants that will take care of, keeping their lights on, or the electricity on, or the gas on.
Right.
Finding simple ways, maybe linking up with local like services that will help them deliver their scripts to them, providing services that they can get to their doctor's appointments. So all they have to worry about is just getting better.
Right.
So that way we can kind of crunch down some of these numbers, because they can be proactive. They can get tested. And I
Right.
think that if they are proactive, it all boils down to it being their choice and how they want to handle the BRCA.
Right.
Do
Right.
they want to move forward with the prophylactic surgery? Maybe they just want to talk to a support group to get more information about it, and talk to other women or other men, and so they can share their stories and how they're dealing and coping with it. So that's kind of something that's the kind of the direction that I'm kind of going to, so that way we can kind of help them, and even for the kids, and take that burden off of for the kids as well, like
Right.
my daughter.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think it's definitely something that is much needed, and I feel like even that the BRCA gene is not talked as about as much as maybe it should be. There's not as much education about it out there, and
And
I've had people say they said something to me about some gene. What does that mean? And so I feel like just even the education and getting the word out.
yes, yes, and that's so true, Holly, because I had to explain it to so many people, even certain doctors. I had to explain it because they didn't understand why I was coming in to have, a double mastectomy at my young age.
Right.
They couldn't understand, like they thought that I had cancer, and to the fact that I had to break it down and kind of tell them exactly like what it is.
Right. Right.
So there isn't a lot of talk about it. There isn't a lot of awareness about it. And so that's something also that I want to be able to do as well, is to educate people on the BRCA, and also still be able to provide those services. Because
Right.
when it came time for me to have my surgery, I didn't really have there wasn't like you know how they usually have like a breast cancer foundation, they have an ovarian case of foundation, but there's nothing specific just for BRCA. There's nothing that's tailored just for them, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff that kind of comes with that, you know. Even now, I had my hysterectomy in May of 2018, and I'm still dealing with things from long-term side effects from those things, you
Right.
know. So I was very fortunate to be able to have the services that I have, and FAB being one of them, you know, one of those services, and which I would love to include into my
Yeah.
my organization as well, because it just getting them rehabilitated back to life, going back to what they call what is normal to them, you know, and
Right.
their kids as well. So
Well, we'll be happy to help you any way that we can. And so I would love to, be part of helping you get that off the ground and get it started. Because now that I'm thinking about it and you're speaking about your young daughter, I'm sure you have worries about her. Is there a certain age that she'll need to be tested at?
yes, actually, her and my nephew, when they hit about 21, they
Okay.
will have to have the same testing done. They did tell me that there is a possibility that it may skip her generation, like her
Yep.
and my nephew, but the BRCA keeps going down the line, so
Right.
it's never going to go anywhere. So
So
even
she
though it
has
may skip,
children.
yeah. So even if it skips Ayana, her children will have to have that testing done.
Right.
So that way, and it starts at the age of 21.
Right.
And it's a very what was that? It's a very tough conversation to have,
I
you
bet.
know.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, especially where she's at such a young age.
And also because and also for her to think that, wow, like I may have to have the same kind of surgeries that
Right.
my mom is having.
Right.
And that's why it was very important for me to be very strong during these, because this is number 6. This is my 6th surgery.
Wow.
So for her to kind of see that, you know, and us doing it by ourselves, you know. But I
Right.
felt that it definitely has made us stronger, you know, as a
And I
mom and
would think
daughter.
too that a lot of issue would be when you go to apply for services. Technically, you don't have cancer, but you're doing something to prevent that from happening. So I would assume that maybe a lot of the services would say, we can't help you. We're reserved for people that have cancer, which is kind of like a catch-22.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's crazy too, Holly, because even with joining the Live Strong program or even being part of the FAB program, I didn't feel like I belonged. Like I belonged to the program because I didn't have any active cancer. You
Right.
know, and especially when I would come, especially with meeting other women and hearing their stories, and I'm saying to myself, well, how do I even belong here, or how, how do I even fit into this? Because listening to these women's stories, didn't even though I didn't have any active cancer, I still had to have procedures performed that
Right.
that cancer patients have to go through. You
Right.
know.
And that's what I was
So
going to say. If you look at it on the flip side, you can say to yourself, God, I'm glad I made the decision I made, because now I'm saving myself from going through all of this. And all of this could have possibly happened to me, but I'm doing preventive measures to stop that.
exactly.
So you're to be commended for that. That's a
Thank you.
very brave decision I have to make.
Thank you so much. And that's why even more reason why I want to spread the word, you know, and talk especially to the young community. These women who are young women or even young boys who are going to get these test results, and that they do come back positive. And I want them to be aware of, not only educate themselves on what it is, but I also want them to be proactive and taking their power back, you know.
Right.
And making that decision on their own. It's their choice, you know.
Right.
No, before cancer comes, because sometimes with my sister, it wasn't a choice for her.
Right.
She didn't have that option to
Right.
to get a jump start on it, if she would have known about the BRCA, if she would have been educated, I think that my sister Stephanie would have took those measures, when in her early 20s, she would have got the testing done, but she never did because she didn't really know about it,
Right.
So that's why I'm so passionate about this organization, to help young adults, and anyone, and just answer any questions that they may have, and just being a support system, giving them comfort, because I know what that feels like at the end of the day,
Right. Now, somebody who might be faced in the same situation that you are and may have gotten word about our program, and and majority of our services are at no cost. So they may think to themselves, well, I'm doing this as a preventive measure. Maybe I shouldn't take advantage of the program. What advice would you give them to encourage them that it is okay to take advantage of the program?
I wouldn't even think it's even taking advantage. I think that it's a learning experience, because that's what Fab did for me.
Right.
So it wasn't just about the massages. It wasn't about the facials for me, so I encourage people not to shy away from that.
Yeah.
Because that's what Fab is for. That's so that way you can inform people especially about the things, that the chemicals and things that are in our products that we use every single day.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't aware of that, and Fab did that for me, educated for not only for myself, but even the products that I even use on my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And so the information that you guys are giving me, I'm passing it down to other people.
You would think that it would sound crazy that to recommend a product that contains ingredients that cause cancer to somebody who either has cancer or has a high vulnerability to it. That sounds crazy, and you would think that the government agencies would be there to protect us, but it's not, and we have to be proactive on our own, because we have to be our own advocates.
Exactly. That's, I feel like this whole BRCA thing, this whole BRCA experience has kind of taught me that, because no one's the FDA is not gonna do it for me. If anything, they're trying to make their money. And that's what it's about, especially with cancer. It's a trillion dollar business, So I think that's the more information and the more awareness that we can spread and prepare people with, the better decisions that they can make, and how they want to handle it, and that's why as far as, like I said, taking their power back, and let's crunch down some of these numbers, especially with the testing. Because I'm a big advocate on pushing, for the testing, especially if they have relatives or people on immediate family members who have had cancer, and they are unaware that they don't even have those options,
Right. And Makeva, would you like to share your email address in case any of the listeners need somebody to reach out to who they might want to talk to, who's been in their shoes?
Oh yes, most definitely. So my email address is M as in Mary, K as in Kite, V as in Victor, D as in David, E as in Echo, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, at hotmail.com.
Great. Thank you so much. That's a great opportunity for people that, may have gotten their test results back and are not sure what to do. It always helps to get recommendations and advice from people who have been in that situation.
Most definitely, in any way that I can help. Because like I said, I know what it feels like. I've been going through this, like I said, now for about 3 years, and I'm still in it, and a lot, like I said, I would love to talk to anyone, anyone, be a support system for anyone that needs, just a little bit of guidance, or a little bit of push, or where do I go from here, or even if somebody just wants to cry, because I even with those, I've had those moments, especially being by myself, because during this whole phase, I've definitely felt very alone,
Right.
I couldn't really talk to my friends because my friends couldn't relate to that, especially when it came time for me to have my double mastectomy. I got a lot of ignorant comments like, well, at least you're going to get a boob job. And it's like, it's far from a boob job.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not even close to a boob job.
Right. Yeah.
It's something really serious, and I just wish that I want people to be proactive in their health,
Yep. Yep. And I think it's a good message too to say it's okay to be proactive. It's okay
Yes.
to make the decisions that you're comfortable with and to do things that you feel will help you in the future. Like it's okay for that. And, I think that it is a big issue where people might feel lost or not know what to do. And other people are really not too good at giving advice or support. So it's great to have somebody that they could contact to who's been through it to say, this is what I'm confused by, or just like you said, just to cry, or just to get some weight off. And that's another service that we like to provide too, is we try to look at ourselves as other than the skincare aspect of it and everything, is a support system somewhere where we want to provide a place where somebody can come and, maybe speak what they might not be able to say outside, and everything is confidential. And so, did you get that feeling when you would come for your visits?
Oh, most definitely. Christina has turned into not only and we would laugh about it because she almost turned into a friend.
Yeah.
She turned into a friend for me. So not only was she, my masseuse or someone that was doing my facials, but she was my therapist.
Right.
She allowed me to cry.
Yep.
She was very comforting. Things that I was insecure about, especially when it came to my double mastectomy scars, or things that I was concerned about. She would give me recommendations, or she'll say, let me look into that, let me do some research and I'll get back to you. So I'm very upset that this whole COVID thing is going on.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to see her.
Hopefully we're starting to get things back rolling again. So it shouldn't be too long now. She's also finishing up with school. She's doing the lymphedema specialist classes. So, but we're starting to roll out things. So it's not going to be too long now.
Okay. Because like I said, Fab is a really, really great program. I stand behind you guys 100%. The company has helped me tremendously in more ways than you know. And just feeling like I said, feminine, just feeling like a woman again, making showing ways to kind of take care of my skin. And it's been a really, really, really big help for me.
Awesome. We love to hear it. And thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. Do you have any other further comments or anything you'd like to share?
No, just go see Fab.
Thank you so much. So if
You're
someone
welcome.
would like more information about our programs, you can visit our website at www.lookfeelfab.org, or you can also like us on our Facebook page. If you'd like to listen to this audio again, you can find us on Spotify, and you can also subscribe to our channel there. Thank you for listening. This is Holly Brown, host of Skin is In at Passionate World Talk Radio. Have a nice night.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. This is Jeannie White, producer of Skin is In. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.